Hey ambitious professionals, it's Linda Rayner of lindarayner.com, guiding you to a career and life you'll truly enjoy. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps on how to land a senior management position. As a career strategist and coach, I've had the pleasure of working with professionals and helping them to land careers that have long-term growth potential. And if this is something that you're interested in working with me one-on-one, I can definitely give you details about that at the end of this video. So if you clicked on this video, it's likely because you are a professional who is motivated, you're driven, you're a strong performer in your current job, and you're likely at the manager, maybe senior manager level in your company. And you have dreams to one day pursue a C-suite executive director level position. So why is it that certain professionals are able to move up in their careers fairly quickly and are able to hold director, C-suite, executive level positions, while there are others who are working just as hard or probably even harder, and yet you can't get past the manager level title that you have? Well, I can tell you that the people that have risen to the top in their careers didn't necessarily do so by chance. They had a clear plan of action. Even if they didn't know it at the time, they had a clear goal of where they wanted to be, and they progressed and developed themselves to get there. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to give you some insight on the key 7 steps that you can start implementing for yourself so that eventually you're going to have a senior leadership position as well. Step number 1 is to know where you're going. Have a vision. Many people take on jobs, and what ends up happening is they just simply work hard in their job. So this might be you. You've taken on your manager job, you work hard in it, but you don't really have a clear vision for where you see yourself going. If you don't know where you're going, if you don't have a clear vision, it's going to be pretty hard for you to get there. And a lot of the time, people make the mistake of thinking about, oh, my vision is to make more money, have better benefits, work in a better company. But what about you? Those are all external things. What are the internal things that you're going to need to change about yourself for you to really get to that senior leadership position? So before we get into that, just start with having a clear vision. What I would say is perhaps go on LinkedIn or just do a quick Google search and start looking up people that are holding executive roles in the type of work that you do, in the industries that you're in, and figure out what are the available executive level opportunities that exist. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is to implement a top performer mindset, which means it's about offering value, not necessarily just working hard. Not all executives are the same, but for the ones who tend to be admired and really well liked by not only their colleagues, but by the employees in their organizations, they tend to have a certain type of mindset. They're bright, they're passionate, they're committed to making things happen, they trust in their own decisions, but at the same time, they're willing and very open to others' ideas. They don't just take credit all for themselves, especially if it's for their teams, and they're able to inspire and influence others. They have this certain energy about them that just simply does not operate out of fear. Instead, it operates out of this sense of offering value. When you think about this second step here, think about it in terms of yourself. Are you someone who right now is just really head down, very focused, you're working extremely hard in your job, but you're not necessarily doing the things that I just mentioned? You're not inspiring and influencing others. You're not offering the extra value that you could be. Then it's time for you to really reflect and ask yourself, how could I expand myself a little bit more? How can I build a brand for myself that is authentic, but where instead of just working hard, I'm able to really influence and inspire others. I'm able to spark new ideas. I'm able to engage with the people in my organization. And really, it's about being able to develop strong relationships. So having a top performer mindset incorporates all of those things beyond just working hard. Step number 3 is to build self-awareness and emotional intelligence. As you move up in your career, it's actually less about you working hard and more about your ability to relate and connect with people. Although I was born and raised here in Canada, one of the things that I've learned as a child of immigrant parents was this working hard mindset. And I think a lot of you can relate, where you grow up feeling that the only way to really get true results for yourself is, of course, to work hard. You work hard in school, you get good grades. You work hard at work, and hopefully you'll get the promotion. At least that's what you think at the beginning. But as you really move on in your career, move up and above just the low-level rankings, you're going to find that, like I said, working hard is not what it's all about. It's really about your ability to connect and relate to other people. So why isn't your hard work paying off? The answer to that is something that you may not even realize, and that is there are potentially aspects in your mindset, the way you think, the way you operate, that are actually not serving you. For example, you might actually be operating out of fear. Even though you're working hard, you're doing it because you have fear of, if I don't work hard, I might lose my job, or if I don't work hard, people won't respect me. And what ends up happening is that fear-based energy results in the way people end up treating you and the way they see you as whether you're someone who's worth getting promoted. So, for example, have you ever had situations where you were in a meeting with your boss or your coworkers and they took credit for an idea or for the work that you had put into a certain project and you didn't speak up for fear of offending them? If that's you, that's something that you need to recognize. Or have you always just been simply known as Susie or John, who always works hard? You feel that even though you're seen as that hardworking worker bee, they don't see you as leadership potential. So if this is you, my suggestion is that it's time for you to really start building some self-awareness and asking yourself hard questions as to, what am I missing? What are the gaps between where I want to be and where I am right now? Where can I improve on so that moving forward, I can have this new confident mindset? So a good way to do this is actually start to look at inspirational leaders, whether they're in or outside of your organization, people who you truly respect, and kind of take note of what qualities about them that you really, really admire. And from there, you can sort of do an inventory within yourself and ask yourself, do I have those qualities within me? Because the truth is, if you admire a quality within someone else, it's because you recognize that you have that quality within you too, but you're just not expressing it. So if you feel that there is something that you want to be able to develop further, just remember that you already have it within you. You just have to kind of take an inventory of what these qualities are and then start to really build on them as you move forward in your journey. Step number 4 is to put yourself out there, network the right way. Personally, I really dislike the word networking because it sounds very cold and robotic almost, and I'm sure you can agree, but I think what it really takes is just a bit of shift and framing your mindset around this word networking. Instead of thinking about networking as getting to know someone for the purpose of getting a job from them, you should really look at networking as an opportunity to just simply make a new friend. Networking is really about being able to find common ground with each and every person that you meet in a genuine and authentic way. It's not about trying to make friends with everyone as if you're giving to get something. You really genuinely have to show interest in the other person. So what you're gonna have to start to do is step outside of your cubicle. Stop sitting in there and just focusing on your work and then going home and not talking to anyone the whole day. You really need to step outside your cubicle, get to know the people in your company. And when I say that, I mean everyone. Don't ignore certain people because of their rank or whatever. I mean, you never know who's going to be a supporter for you in the long run. The people who, yes, maybe they work in another department or they're in your department, but they're at a much higher level. Eventually, you'll get to know them as well, and you'll do the same thing because you've practiced it well. One day, you're going to feel, wow, you know what? It is possible for me to eventually get to the level that I want to get to. Because at the end of the day, everyone's human, and they've worked to get to where they've gotten to, but on top of that, they've been able to develop strong relationships along the way. So you're just starting to do that for yourself, and that's what's going to help you to get there. Step number 5 is keep developing yourself personally and professionally. Just because you got yourself to a certain level in your career does not mean that it's time for you to stop learning. Anytime you have a chance to attend a conference, go to a lunch and learn event, attend a breakfast speaking event, meet leaders in your industry, do it. You want to put yourself out there and be able to absorb and still continue to learn anything new that is related to the workspace, the industry that you're in. Because you'll never know what tiny little piece of information you could get from attending those sort of events that is going to actually help to shift your view on the world, on your life, on your career, and the way that it can possibly inspire you. Step number 6 is to seek out mentors, but just don't be needy. So many professionals I see, the hardworking ones, tend to fly through their careers solo. They don't have someone that they can refer to or speak to in order to guide them from time to time when they have personal or professional struggles. And here's the thing about mentors. They don't have to be your direct boss. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people don't have mentors, is because maybe they don't like their boss and they don't want their boss to be their mentor. They wouldn't respect what their boss says. That's okay. If you find that that's the case, you don't have to like your boss. But at the same time, you really still need to seek out inspirational leaders. And they don't necessarily even have to be in your industry, and they don't even have to be in your company. But just people who you admire because they've done well for themselves in their own careers, they've gone after what they want, and they've succeeded. So being able to look to people such as that, want to start absorbing the energy of these individuals and really start to understand what is it about them, what are the qualities that they have that have helped them to succeed. And from there, you'll start to be able to reflect for yourself what areas you need to work on that's going to help you to grow in your career. Now, when I say don't be needy, I really truly mean it. And basically, you don't want to be someone who's calling your mentor every day, asking them questions about every tiny little problem that you have. You want it to be casual. You want to keep the space between you and your mentor, of course, because it's going to be a bit of a drain on them if their brains are just being picked constantly. So I would say maybe schedule a monthly catch-up call or schedule a monthly coffee date with your mentor. And in that situation, they're going to be more willing to engage with you for that focused period of time so that you get the most out of the conversations with them, and they're going to help you the way that they can best. Step number 7 is to keep record of your accomplishments. Many professionals I come across, they accomplish amazing things in their careers and they can't remember them after 6 months have gone by. They can't remember the details, and that's simply because they forgot to keep track of them as it happened. And this is something that I want you to remember to do starting today. You want to start keeping inventory of all the accomplishments that you've been able to do. An accomplishment is something where you've been able to help your company save time, save money, improved a certain process, doing something that has resulted in a quantifiable result, ideally, so that when it comes time for an interview for a new position, ideally that next level position, you have something to talk about. Instead of just brushing over your achievements in a very vague way, you'll be able to describe it in detail. You'll be able to tell the story. And in that case, you're going to be able to get yourself closer to eventually getting that senior leadership position. The important thing to keep in mind is this. For these more senior level positions, it's no longer about just having the technical experience to do the job, that you've been there, done that, you can do the job. No, you have to stand apart from your competition, because as you know, in every organization, it's like a pyramid. There are fewer and fewer senior level positions that are available, which means there's more and more competition for those roles. So the smart interviewers are going to be the ones who will really press your buttons to ask you and find out, what did you actually contribute to your organization in your past positions? And if you don't have stories to tell, you're just going to be passed up for those opportunities. So there you have it, my 7 steps on how you can land a senior management position in the long term. Now, if you're someone who's actually at the point in your career who is ready for that next level position, but you've been looking for a while and it just hasn't been happening, you haven't landed job offers, you've been stuck in the interviews, then feel free to book a call with me and I can see how I can help you. You can just go to lindarainer.com/standoutgethired, fill out the application form there. You can also read testimonials of successful clients that have worked with me, and from there we can see if it's a fit for us to work together, for me to help you to land a better job that will offer you career growth and long-term potential. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.